Welcome back, YouTube. Sensei Domino here. Welcome to the Spine Ticks After Party. Got some great stuff to share with you tonight. I have a few eBay pickups. I'll be showing part of my Christmas present for my brother, and I'll also be showing the rest of the 1980 Topps baseball starter set that I started showing last week. But let's go ahead and get started. Let's start with the eBay pickups. And we'll start with this really nice 1970-71 Topps Nate Thurmond Tall Boy. It's in pretty nice shape other than the centering. There is a little bit of edge wear right there, right here. And this corner's a little rough, but otherwise, nice example of this card. I've always been a fan of these tall boys, but in the past I haven't picked any up because I was worried about storage and stuff like that and keeping them protected. But these days they have card saver 4s and these larger, tall boy card savers. So much less of an issue these days, and I have been picking up a lot of oversized items and cards and stuff, so I don't think it's that big of a deal these days. So really happy to pick up my first tall boy, and Nate Thurmond was an amazing player. And there's the back. It says right there, Nate has his own bachelor pad in San Francisco. Nice. So really happy to get this. All right, next we have a 1971 Topps Jim Cott. And I thought this card looked really nice. Didn't pay a whole lot for it. Just minimal corner wear, not too much edge wear. For a 1971 with the black borders, which I absolutely love this set. But this card looks to be in really nice shape, all things considered. And so really happy to pick this up. All right, next, I only paid 99 cents for this. Unfortunately, it's got like a small crease that you really can't see, but it's there. But this is a 1972 Topps, 1971 NFC passing leaders with Roger Staubach, Greg Landry, Bill Kilmer. Unfortunately, there is, like I said, a crease right here. Probably goes from the top of the card to the start of his hair. But this is actually Roger Staubach's rookie year, so this is kind of a quasi-rookie. But again, I paid 99 cents for this, so you really can't see the crease, but you can see the bend right there between the E and the A. So a little disappointing, but again, 99 cents for this, and even if I didn't pay 99 cents, these cards are relatively cheap. I just kind of wanted a Staubach sort of quasi-rookie card from his rookie set, and happy to get this regardless. All right, next, it's a card I've wanted for a while. Finally got it. This is a 1981 Topps Art Monk rookie. Amazing receiver. He was definitely one of the best receivers in the game when I started watching football regularly. Always been a fan of his. So happy to pick this up. This one's in nice shape. All right, next, paid 99 cents for this one. I was actually hoping to have a non-signed copy of this. I do have this card signed. I'm really happy to have it, but I kind of wanted a copy of this that wasn't signed. Unfortunately, this is really beat up, but I did pay 99 cents for it, so I really can't complain. Normally this card doesn't go for 99 cents, but again, this is one of those auctions where it just says the card you see is the card you will receive, and doesn't really tell you much about the condition of the card. And I saw the corners were a little rough, but I didn't realize that there were creases in it, so a little disappointed. But this is Eric Dickerson's rookie card, 1984 Topps, and as you can see, the centering's a little off. The corners are definitely worn, but yeah, there are creases in this. There is a crease right here, and there is a crease right here. And so a little disappointed, but 99 cents, I guess it's not too bad. But yeah, I'll be looking to pick up another nicer copy of this. I only bid on this because it was still 99 cents with very little time left remaining, and was trying to snag it for cheap, but yeah, probably only worth about 99 cents, so I got what I paid for. All right, next from that same set, really happy to get this amazing player. It's a Daryl Green rookie card, 1984 tops. Little off center, but otherwise sharp card. Really happy to get this. Hall of Famer. So happy to add that to the collection. I have most of the sort of lesser Hall of Fame rookie cards from that set. I do still need to get, like the John Elway, Dan Marino from that set. But I think at this point, I think I have all the other, Hall of Fame rookie cards from the set. But would definitely like to pick up the Elway and Marino at some point. Just haven't gotten around to it just yet. All right, next, this is a card. This card really means a lot to me because essentially this was the second card I ever had in my collection. And I did have a copy of this. I sent it off for a TTM. It's been out for about a year. I'm still hoping it comes back at some point signed. It would be really nice. I have received a successful TTM from this individual before, and decided to send out that rookie card that I had. And so with that being sent out and not sure if it's going to come back, I wanted to pick up another copy. This one's a little off center, but it's William Refrigerator Perry's 1986 Topps rookie card. I've told the story before, but it's probably been well over a year since I told it. I was a big fan of the 85 Bears. I'll start by saying that. And the first card that I ever asked for was the 1983 Topps Jim McMahon rookie card. And I ended up getting that. I want to say it was for Christmas, but it might have been my birthday. I'm not really sure. But that was the first card that I ever received. And the next card that I wanted to get was the William Refrigerator Perry rookie. And so that I did end up getting the Refrigerator Perry rookie shortly thereafter, probably 6 months after. But I didn't have that card in my collection when I got back into the hobby, and so I definitely wanted to pick both the McMahon and the Refrigerator Perry rookies back up because they do mean a lot to my collecting history, and so definitely wanted to have those cards represented in my collection. But again, I sent the copy that I had off to Mr. Perry, hoping to get it signed. I did get a return from him last year, but it was more sort of junk wax era stuff. None of the mid 80s, none of like 86, 87, 88. It was mostly like 89 through 92 or something cards that I sent off. Would have loved to get his rookie signed, so hopefully it does come back. But for now, I got this replacement, a little off center, but the corners are pretty nice. I think there's a little ding on this corner, but actually paid 99 cents for this, so I can't complain. Happy to get this. And man, I hindsight being 2020, I was excited that he scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl, but that touchdown should have gone to Walter Payton, and I think everybody knows that by now, because Walter Payton didn't get that Super Bowl touchdown, and he definitely deserved it. All right, next we have a 1987 Topps Jim Kelly rookie. I guess this is considered his rookie NFL card. He does have USFL cards. I don't know if they're considered rookies these days or not, XRCs or whatever. And those are much more valuable than this Jim Kelly. But big fan of Jim Kelly. And, several people know this, but I went to the University of North Texas. And they did a film that was filmed at the school that was called Necessary Roughness that came out in 1991, which was before I actually went to the school. But Jim Kelly made an appearance as one of the, I guess they were prisoners or something like that played the armadillos in that, like a scrimmage or something, and Jim Kelly was on that team. So kind of a fan of Jim Kelly because of that. And there were several other Hall of Famers and notable players that made appearances in that movie as well, but did not have this card, and really happy to pick it up. And Necessary Roughness, I mean, it's not going to win any awards, but I do enjoy the movie. I think it's pretty good. Scott Bakula, Sinbad, several other people, but pretty good movie. So happy to get that card. All right, next we have a small little set that came out in 1909. This is Stolwork, and they produced several different small little sets. Starting in the mid to late 80s, all the way through I want to say like the 1930s or something like that, but I didn't write it down. But this is, I guess, it's set number 430. It's from the Heroes album, and I guess this set's sort of considered inventors, but there's inventors and scientists and stuff in this set. It's a 6 card set, but I'll go ahead and start. And apologize if I'm mispronouncing some of these names. This first card is Berthold Schwarz. Yeah, I love the imagery on these, the artwork on these. They're fantastic. Unfortunately, let me pull this out real quick so I can kind of show you what the cards look like. Back during this time, it was very common for you to put cards into albums, and the albums had little slits that you would kind of slide the card into. And this one has all the markings of cards that were in those sort of albums. So I don't know. Got shadows and stuff. I don't know if you can see that, but every single one of these corners has a little line across each of them, showing that they were definitely in albums. But otherwise, these are in really nice shape. And from what I understand, you can find these periodically. I wouldn't say that they're scarce or hard to find, but they're not readily available. You got to wait a little bit to find sets of these. I mean, I guess you can find singles and stuff, if you try, but to find the complete set is a little difficult, I guess. But again, these aren't super scarce. But again, this is Berthold Schwarz, and he's known for inventing gunpowder. And this is a German set, so the back is all in German. All right, next, this is Johannes Gutenberg, and he is known for the invention of the printing press. And again, this one's got the little marks on all the corners. All of them do. Really cool card. All right, next. This one's probably one of the better known names in this set. And this is Nicholas Copernicus. Really happy to get this card. And wrote a little bit about Nicholas Copernicus, but he formulated a model of the universe that placed the sun rather than the earth at its center. So definitely one of the more notable astronomers out there. And this card, despite the wear on the corners, is really nice. Really happy to get this. All right, next, this is another great name. This is Johannes Kepler. Just gorgeous artwork. Love this. And I would love to pick up several other little sets like this from Stolwork. And there's also another company, Liebig, that makes some great small little sets like this that I would love to pick up other mini sets of. But really happy to get this one. But Kepler, he was known for his laws of planetary motion, and he was one of the founding fathers of modern astronomy, the scientific method, natural and modern sciences. And he's also called the father of science fiction for his novel Somnium. And that was something I didn't know, but apparently he's the father of science fiction, which is really cool. So those of you that are fans of Star Trek, Star Wars, owe a lot to this guy right here. Different novels. Really cool. All right, next. Now, I believe this is Otto von Guericke. And von Guericke contributed to the scientific revolution with his pioneering works on the physics of the vacuum, atmospheric pressure, and electrostatic repulsion, among other things. A really cool card. And lastly, and definitely the biggest name in this set, and the one I was most excited to get, and this is Sir Isaac Newton. And a little off center, and there's a little dot right here. Looks like, I don't know what it is, like an ink dot or something. I'm not sure. But I mean, Sir Isaac Newton's basically one of the greatest scientists of all time. Just a great image right there. So that is the 1909 Stolwerk Heroes album set, number 430. And the last card that I picked up that I'm going to show, this is Felix Potin. I think that's how you say it. And this is from the third collection. And I believe this came out in 1908. And it's of Roland Garros. I did show a card of his from 33-34 a couple weeks back. This one's from 1908. This very well could be his rookie card. And this card is not easy to find. Very fortunate to have picked this up. I know a Fabian undrafted player would love to get a copy of this, and there's nothing listed on eBay. It's not there. And you know, you look at the recent history, and the only one that's there is the one that I bought. So definitely appears to be a scarce card, but really happy to get this. Of course, Roland Garros Stadium is named after him in France, and he was a fantastic aviator. And so really happy to get this card and actually have an actual image of him as opposed to an artist's rendition of him on the Skybird set. So very cool pickup. Really happy to get that. So that is all of my eBay pickups. Next, I will be showing part of my Christmas present from my brother. And when he was over here over Thanksgiving, he was asking me what I wanted for Christmas, and I found a couple of auctions on eBay and was like, why don't you pick one of these out, whichever one you'd like would be fine. And he actually ended up buying both of them for me, so very appreciative. Thank you, bro. And I am going to start by showing this. I don't know if you want to call it a starter set or just a group of cards from the 1965 Topps Embossed set. I believe there are 28 cards here, and I think one of them I already had. So it was like a 27 card lot. And this does have some fantastic names in it, fantastic Hall of Famers. But let me go ahead and show you, I did write down the complete set, and so you'll see how many cards I'm missing towards the complete set, and a long way to go. It's a 72 card set. I have 28 of them, so about a third of the way there. So whether I decide to build this set or not, I'm not really sure. It is kind of hard to find these cards in good shape because they are embossed and they tend to get scratched up really easily. But these are in fantastic shape. There is very little scratching on these cards. The damage is, little dings on the edges, corners, stuff like that. But as far as surface issues, there really aren't too many on this. This is a fantastic lot of these cards. And there is some duplication. But let me go ahead and get started. So we'll start with Max Alvis. And again, you can't really see any scratching on the surface of these. This one does have a little ding right here, which you can see, and then maybe a little ding in this corner, but otherwise, really nice. I was definitely surprised at the condition of these. All right, next we have Bill Moose Scouron. This card, aside from the centering being a little off, is really nice. And then this is the big card in the lot. I'm really happy to get this. Anytime you get a card of this guy, um, yeah, it becomes a top tier card in your collection for sure. This guy is one of the greatest names in the hobby, no doubt. Of course, I'm talking about the great Mickey Mantle. This one's got a little ding on that corner right there. Centering's a little off, but gorgeous looking card. Really happy to add another mantle to the collection. And this card is probably one of the cheapest Playing Days Mickey Mantle's cards that are out there, so it doesn't have all that much value. You know, you can probably find it for 30, 40 bucks. Definitely one of the lesser valuable mantles, but it is a mantle nonetheless, and really happy to get this. Next, we have Hall of Famer Joe Torre. Hopefully these cards are showing up. This card is in really nice shape aside from the centering. Not too many issues. All right, next we have another Hall of Famer. And this one has a little issue on the corners, but not too bad. And then the centering's kind of bad. This is Al Kaline, Hall of Famer. Of course, the centering is rough. Got a corner ding right here, and then a little bit right there on that edge of that corner right there. But still, Hall of Famer Al Kaline. And the backs of all of these are pretty clean, which is nice. All right, next I actually have two of this card. This is Wayne Causey. I'll give you a better look at each of these. I'm not sure which one is in better shape. The other one I will probably put on eBay and see if I can turn it into another card from the set. Next we have Hall of Famer, TTM legend, Bill Mazeroski. Look at the corners. Look how sharp these corners are. Definitely a little off center. Just gorgeous looking card though. All right, next we have Jim Bouton. He does have a pretty interesting book. I believe it's called Ball 4, which I have not read myself, but have been told that it's a fantastic read. So maybe one day I'll read that. Gorgeous looking card. Next, have duplicates of this one, but don't mind, Hall of Famer. I'll probably end up keeping both of these. We have the great Eddie Matthews. I'll go ahead and show you each of these. Hopefully these are showing up. I feel like uh, because of the way these cards are made, it almost feels like you're only seeing like the gold, but hopefully you're seeing the silhouette of the players. It's a gorgeous looking card. And here's the other. Now this one does appear to have a little scratching, but not too bad. Can't imagine without card protection that these were easy to keep in good condition because you have them in a box and they're rubbing against a regular card or even in the pack, just sitting in there in the pack. And this is a smaller size card than your regular issue, and so it would rub back and forth on it and probably pretty easy to get scratched up. But still, I can't complain at all about the condition of these. Next, we have Jack Baldshun. This one does appear to have a little bit of a crease in it right here. Might be the only one in here with a crease. Next, we have Ron Hunt. Definitely a little off center, but otherwise pretty nice. Little dot of something right there. Not sure what that is. All right, next we have Frank Malzone. This card looks to be fairly decently centered. Minor corner wear. Not too bad. Next, have duplicates of this one. This is Bob Allison. Start with this one. This one looks to be pretty nice. Looks like there might be some like print streaks or something there. And here's the other. And there is like a little print streak right there on this one as well. A little something right here. Little corner ding. All right, give me just 1 second. I'm going to get a drink of water. All right. Next, we have Jim Fregosi. Looks like there's a little something right here. Otherwise, not too bad. All right, next, really happy to get this one. I definitely am a collector of this guy's cards. I'm trying to do his player run. Probably a little over halfway done, including his rookie. We have Billy Williams. And this one really looks nice. Centering's a little off, but the corners are nice. Doesn't appear to have too many little dings or anything on the corners or the edges. Gorgeous example of this card. Happy to get it. next, definitely a fan of this guy, Rocky Colavito. This one actually looks like it's got pretty nice centering. A little off, not too bad. Little corner ding or something right there. Not too bad though. All right, next we have Tommy Davis. Centering on this one's a little rough, but otherwise, corners and edges look really good. All right, next we have Walt Bond. There's actually a guy that played for the Dallas Mavericks in the early 90s named Walter Bond, but I don't think they're related. Definitely a little off center top to bottom, but otherwise corners and edges look pretty good. All right, next, centering on this one's a little rough, but otherwise it's all right. We got Mickey Lolich. I have to check, but this is probably close to his rookie year. But I'll have to check. But definitely almost a miscut up at the top, and then you look on the back and you can kind of see something right there. It's almost like they were printed kind of like this. So you can see the border right there of another one of these. So definitely a little bit of a miscut, but really cool Mickey Lolich. And otherwise, pretty nice shape on the corners and edges. All right, next, this one looks pretty nice aside from centering. This is Bob Shaw. And next, we have the one card that I had picked up previously before this lot that I had in my collection. And you'll see a little bit of what I was talking about with the scratching and stuff like that. But this is Ernie Banks. I put a little mark right here. So I know that this was a card that I previously had in my collection. But if I hold it like this, you can see all sort of the scratches on his face. And, right here on the edges. And kind of tells you how condition sensitive this set is. And then you compare that to some of the other cards that I've shown, and you can kind of tell how good those cards were taken care of. But still really happy with this Ernie Banks. I didn't have any complaints when I got it, and I still don't. I mean, this is acceptable to me. It does have a little fading on this edge, like some of the gold is sort of faded away or something, but still really happy with this and love Ernie Banks and don't have a whole lot of cards in my collection of his. Does have a little ding on that corner, but yeah, still really happy to have that card. All right, just a few more. I believe four remaining. Next, we have Lee May. This card is really nice. Nice sharp corners. Centering's a little off, but maybe a little ding right there now that I'm looking at it, but not too bad at all. Next, we have Joe Cunningham. Centering is just a tad bit off, almost nice centering right there. Sharp corners, edges look pretty good. This is definitely a unique set. Whoever came up with the idea of doing these silhouettes on a gold embossed card had a pretty good idea. This is one of the earlier insert sets, I guess you could say. And the second to last card we have is Jim Maloney. Centering's not bad at all on this one. Tad bit off. And the last card, we have Jim Kralik. I believe this is the last card in the set. Yeah, card number 72. So thank you again, bro, for this amazing gift. These cards look amazing. Can't thank you enough. And I will be showing the second part of his Christmas present probably next week, would be my guess. All right, so the last thing I'll be showing is the rest of the 1980 Topps Baseball starter set that I started showing last week. And as I said last week, I probably have about a third of the set, would be my guess. I think the lot that I bought was 400 cards. And once I took out the cards that were in rough shape or duplicates, I think I had around 300. So over a third, but definitely not half. Let me go ahead and show you. I have all the cards that I'm missing or need to replace right here, and the list is long. So it's going to be a while till I get this set completed. There you go. But I have sort of marks like I have this card, but I need to replace it, so I put a check mark. And I did that on quite a few of them. Either didn't like the condition or the condition was just horrible. And then I had a couple that I did pick up here and there, or had in my collection, I guess, already. So, yeah. And one of these is the Ricky Henderson, because I do not have that and definitely need to pick that up at some point. So that's what I need to finish the set. But I bought these starter sets with sort of the long term goal of getting them completed. So, I guess slowly, steadily, I'll try to pick up cards here and there. I'm not going to pay $1 a piece. That's stupid. But if I can find a lot of cards or something like that, and chip away and then kind of sell the duplicates and stuff like that and kind of build it like that, that would be ideal. But let's go ahead and get started. So I guess the last video I finished at card number 400, so this is 402, and this will take us to the end of the set. We've got Merv Rettenmund. And like I did last week, I'll show the backs of a few of these and then just show the fronts. So this isn't an hour and a half long video. And I will show the backs of some of the more notable ones, I guess. We have Pete Redfern. I do really like the design of the 1980 set. We have Dwight Evans, definitely a notable name. Love the background image of the stadium. Next, we have another notable name. How about Paul Molitor? This is another rookie card I'd like to get. This is definitely early in his career, but I don't have the Paul Molitor rookie card. Paul Molitor, Alan Trammell. It's definitely a card I would like to pick up at some point. Next, we have Tony Salida. Next, we have Frank LaCourte. Next, Tom Brookins. Next, we have Roger Freed. That's a great image right there. Look at that stadium background. Gorgeous. Next, Doug Bird. Next, we have Larry Milbourne. Next, we have Dave Frost. Next, we have Mark Belanger. Nice player. Next, we have Grant Jackson. As I say in about every video, I show some of these 70s Pirates cards. I love those uniforms. Those are fantastic. Next, we have Tom Hutton. Check out that choke job. You don't see that anymore. Next, you have Pat Zachary. Next, Dwayne Kuiper. Next, we have Willie Norwood. Next, we have Rich Gale. Next, we have Dave Revering. Next, we have Don Sutton, Hall of Famer, 300-game winner. Next, we have Alvis Woods. Next, I'm a big fan of this guy, and I definitely need to pick up his rookie card. And this card right here has a crease in it, so this will need to be replaced. But you want to talk about a guy that burst onto the scene. Mark the Bird Fidrich. This one has a crease right here. You can see it right there. But yeah, his rookie card in 1977, I would love to pick it up. He had an amazing, amazing rookie year. If you don't know about the Bird, definitely look him up. He was a phenomenon. Next, we have Duffy Dyer. Next, we have Nino Espinosa. Next, we have Doug Bayer. Give me 1 second. It looks like my phone isn't plugged in correctly because it said I have 20% left on my phone. So give me a second. Sorry for the rattling, but I want to plug this in so this doesn't get disconnected. Hopefully that fixed it. All right, so next we have Steve Dillard. Next we have Tom Donahue. Next, love the background. The little helmet cubby holes right there. Frank Tavares. Fantastic background. I love dugout shots. Those are great. Next we have Hall of Famer Burt Blyleven. Pitched a couple years with the Rangers right there. Next we have Dwayne Murphy. Next we have Mike Sadek. Great image right there. Next, we have Rick Monday. Next, Mike Squires. Next, we have Hoskin Powell. Next, we have Bump Wills, sort of a Rangers fan favorite. Next, we have Bob Shirley. Next, always nice to see one of these. Usually these aren't included in lots, but got a checklist right here. Go ahead and show the back of this. I do think we had one checklist in the last group, so that's the second one. Next we have the other Mike Tyson. Next we have Wayne Nordhagen. Next we have Roy Howell. Next we have Lee May. Next we have Steve Mira. Next we have Jerry Martin. Next, Jim Mason. Next we have Danny Darwin. I do believe I have this card signed. I'll have to check, but I think I do. Next we have Tom Dixon. Don Stanhouse. Doug Rao. Adrian Devine. Trying to speed this up a little bit. I'd like to finish this video right at about an hour. Jim Barr. Willie Horton. Nice player. Go ahead and show the back. Rudy May. Miguel Delon, or Delone. Not really sure. Next we have Pat Kelly. Wonder if he hit a home run on that swing. Next we have Rick Langford. It's kind of a cool image. The tree in the background. Next, Ken Griffey Sr. I'll go ahead and show the back of this one. Definitely a notable player. Career .310 batting average up to this point. Okay, I'm going to butcher this. Bill Naharadny. Naharadny. Bill Naharadny. Hopefully that was close. Next we have Joe Rudy, who's definitely a nice player. Next we have Mark Lee. Next we have Alfredo Griffin. Next we have Dale Murray. Next, big fan of this guy, Davy Lopes. Next, we have Rick Manning. Next, we have Dennis Leonard. Next, we have Skip Lockwood. Next, we have Gary Renicky. Next, Terry Kennedy. Jerry Morales. Scott Thompson. Another great background image right there. Jim Dwyer. Next, we have the Blue Jays team. Bobby Maddock. Next, we have Charlie Moore. Bob Baylor. The Mad Hungarian Al Herboski. Nice TTM'er. Mitchell Page. Gary Templeton. Another really nice player. Next, we have Rick Cerrone. Next, we have Dick Tidrow. Mike Norris. Buddy Schultz. Jack Billingham. The Reds team card with John McNamara. Always have to check those team checklists for marks. A lot of them have been marked. Next, we have Ron Reed. Next, we have Pops, Willie Stargell. Of course, the Pirates won the World Series in '79 with the We Are Family Pirates. Next, we have Jerry Garvin. Next, we have John Hiller. Joaquin Andujar. Bob Montgomery. Great image right there. Richie Zisk. Bobby Grich. Nice player. I would argue that he had a career that's worthy of it, at the very least, looking at for the Hall of Fame, because he was a fantastic second baseman. I guess I'll show the back of that. Next, we got Laren LeGros. Next we have Doug Capilla. Next we have Larry Boa. Another nice player. I think he TTMs. Might be worth looking into, but I think he does. Next we have Barry Bonnell. Next we have Glenn Borgman. Ed Kranepool. Ken Forsch. Next we have Charlie Huff. Fantastic TTMer. Next, Rick Burleson. Another checklist. So I think that's 3. All right, next we have Tom Griffin. Bruce Boisclair. Larvell Blanks. Next we have George Bamberger, manager of the Brewers team. Next we have several of these Future Stars cards. So this one looks like Dickie Thon, who's a nice player. Not sure about the other two guys. Next we have Larry Anderson. Definitely off center there. Next, Dan Quisenberry. Card looks to be pretty nice. He was a nice relief pitcher. Next, we have Gary Ward, who was a nice player, played for the Rangers for a little bit. All right, next, I had this card in my collection already. This is Mike Morgan's rookie card. Next, Jerry Don Gleaton's probably the biggest name on this one. Next, probably Harry Spillman, the biggest name on this one. Maybe Frank Pastore. All right, next, this is a nice one. Got Mike Scott and Jesse Orozco. Both had nice careers. Orozco pitched for a long time. Next, Dickie Knowles was probably the biggest name on this one. Next, Can't say that I know any of these players. I'll have to see if any of them had a marginally decent career. Next, Tommy Herr is probably the biggest name here, but George Frazier wasn't bad. Centering's a little rough on this one. I'm vaguely familiar with Dennis Littlejohn, but don't really know what type of career he had. But outside of that, can't say I know either of the other two guys. All right, next we have Mike Heath. Looks like we're getting close to the end. Hopefully you have enjoyed this video this week. Next we have Steve Stone. Of course, he was part of the pair with Harry Carey on WGN Chicago. Cubs games in the 80s, 90s. I think he might be on the White Sox broadcast now. I'd have to check on that. Next we have the Red Sox and Don Zimmer. Looks like there's a little bit of a crease in that corner. That corner's a little rough anyway. Yastrzemski's in there somewhere. Dennis Eckersley, Fred Lynn. Next we have Ivan DeJesus. Raleigh Eastwick. Craig Kusick. Reggie Smith was a nice player. Next, I know I have this card in my collection, but I think this one was actually part of the lot because it's not sleeved up. We got Rod Carew, Hall of Famer. Next, we have Freddie Patek. Pat Underwood. He looks like he's 12. Next, Greg Nettles. Fantastic player. Next we have Bob Galasso. Next we have Sal Bando. Nice player. Don Robinson. Had a pretty nice career. Just a couple more to go. Shane Raleigh. Jerry White. Rick Wise. And the last card, Steve Yeager. That's 726. Not sure how many cards are in this set, but this might be the last card. I'd have to check. That's it. That's the 1980 Topps starter lot. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing that over the last couple weeks. Next week I will probably start showing another set. And as I said earlier, I'll show the second part of my Christmas present from my brother as well. And maybe a couple of eBay pickups if I can get some of them in. But hopefully you enjoyed this video this week. Spine Ticks After Party, thank you so much for your amazing support. And until next week, thanks for watching the video, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.